Hello everyone, I'm Bra Mithra. It's time for the May update. It's good news. You can see here from the title, May 2025, revamped Shipping Wave 1 production complete. Tons of exclamation points. Fulfillment for revamped Shipping Wave 1. Our game to run full speed ahead our gambit to run full speed ahead into the embrace of chaos has paid off. Production on revamped Shipping Wave 1 is complete. So, that's great. All these releases in this wave should be loaded onto shipping vessels within the next 2 days, where they will spend the month of June merrily making their way to our affiliated warehouses for fulfillment. I'm immensely proud of the quality of the content we were able to realize for this set of releases, and I cannot wait for all of you to experience firsthand. So, again, Remastered Wave 1 is, well, we can look here at this little thing here. Priya, Red Witches, you can see there. Then the Four Wanderers, Aeneas, Goth, Candy and Cola, and Death Drifter, which Hyperlight Drifter, the crossover. Also in this is Gatherism and the False Messengers. So that's great. That will be everything in there. Screaming God was the one that was delayed, but we're going to read on here, and we're going to see a little bit about Screaming God. So we estimate Remastered Wave 1 packages to arrive the end of July and into August. So that's Gen Con. It's literally Gen Con, same exact thing as like Gambler's Chest was. So, Screaming God expansion update. Lots of extra TLC with this one. Thankfully, it will be wrapped up and sent off to print soon. Miniature production is also finished as 15 pallets of Screaming God plastic awaiting their printed materials to be ready. So, Screaming God, finally, news on what happened. Looks like it's going into print soon. Not that soon. It doesn't sound like. Otherwise, it would say like within the next 2 weeks, like it did with the shipping or whatever, or next couple days. I mean, not the next 2 weeks, but could be probably before August, maybe by the end of June. So maybe in like July, because there was like talk of it getting held in the Dark Treasury about shipping it with the Campaigns of Death. So, I assume this means we'll probably maybe we'll hear about it next month being off to print, is what I'm assuming. So, Screaming God expansions, layouts, finished June 16th is what it says, but, hopefully next update it will say it for sure. Core game reprints pre-orders. We're testing a new pre-order system that works through our Dark Treasury. If you are interested in the White Speaker Blood Mage, now is your chance to pick it up. Also help us iron out kinks in the system, because next month we're hoping to set up pre-orders for Remastered Wave 1 items to be shipped out following backer fulfillment. So, this is the Dark Treasury thing, where if you have the way it works is if you have something on pre-order, then you can use the Dark Treasury to hold that or combine it with something else that you have pre-ordered. Right? It seems to be that you need to be either a backer or have something pre-ordered to use it. It says here that they're still doing stuff. Iron out the kinks in the system. You can try to sign up for Dark Treasury, but I would say it's worth signing up for it. I have yet to do it. I might do it as soon as they reopen it or whatever. But I guess if you're interested in the White Speaker Blood Mage, now you could probably try to get into it. Core game reprint. This is scheduled to be finished with the first week of June and will be air shipping the first batch of units in time for Gen Con. So, good. I'm super happy that they'll have core games for Gen Con. They always do really well at Gen Con. I was saddened to hear that they might not have core games at Gen Con. But now it looks like they will. I don't know how many copies they will, but they always sell really good at Gen Con. So happy for them that they're going to have core games there. Would have been a shame had they not. So this is great. Gen Con 2025, same place as always. Crypto Edition, yep, same thing as always. This year we'll be giving out bonus goodies to anyone wearing a Kingdom Death t-shirt at checkout at our booth. So flood the convention floor with our favorite monster crests. Yep. So if you could get shirts from the store, they have shirts usually for sale at Gen Con too. But if you have a crested shirt and you buy something when you have a crested shirt, it looks like you'll get this crab glaive, crab saw. I don't know. This is probably in reference to the crab man from last year's Gen Con, I assume. Kingdom Death Simulator. My apologies that it has been quiet. The quiet is reference to the fact that it hasn't been updated since the end of March. So that's something. The team has been working on a new round of features and polishing off the Gambler's Chest expansion. So it would be great if we could get Gambler's Chest by Gen Con. That's kind of what I had always thought might happen. Gen Con or Black Friday is what I was always assuming, not before then. Crazy UI bugs regarding the Black Knight. It's like the showdown is what we're talking about. There was like collision bugs, I think. Taking a few things back to Bedrock. Now fixed, but the board still isn't in the thing, so it means they're fixed for when they do their next update, which didn't happen today. I don't know when the next update will be. It didn't mention it here either. A rollout of the rest of Echoes of Death series leading into the Survivors of Death. I would think you were not going to get Survivors of Death till after Gambler's Chest, but Survivors of Death is really great. The only thing here with the rollout of the rest of Echoes of Death 2 is currently bugged. It doesn't work as intended, or maybe it is working as intended. We haven't had a patch since the last update for the sim, so kind of hope that they fix the bugs with Echoes of Death 2 before they start selling more Echoes of Death, or at least make it clear that Echoes of Death 2 is working as intended. Right now they don't have weapon support, so that's why it's weird. Red Witch and Pariah expansions, close to the same time as physical backers. Close to the same time probably means after backers, but around after backer fulfillment is probably what that means, I would assume. That's great. A larger Black Friday event with a magnifying glass heirloom that introduces a search bar feature to quickly find assets in the game room. This would be great, especially if it has the ability to respawn them. Sometimes when you're looking for an asset, it's because it's despawned somehow and not within the little Resident Evil box thing. We continue to flirt with a crowdfunding push for the sim, but have mixed feelings about it. It would allow us to make much more rapid progress to bring it up to parity with our physical catalog and the robust features that are expected of a modern game experience. But y'all have been so patient and understanding with me, I don't want to spoil our own redemption arc. Even though it has become standard practice, we have always felt awkward when companies run one crowdfunding into another. But maybe since the sim is not developing new game content, it's excusable. I honestly don't know. I'll keep an open and honest line in regards to it. Yep, the sim having its own Kickstarter is, I don't know. It's something that I would hope they wouldn't do. I would hope they wouldn't run another Kickstarter. It depends. I would have to see it. Maybe if they had like before Black Friday, or maybe for the Black Friday. Well, no, you'd probably want to launch the sim Kickstarter on Black Friday to be, in combination with how the other Kingdom Death Kickstarters have been run, usually from Black Friday to like mid-January. So you probably want to start it by then. Maybe if you do Gen Con and like there's like a demo of what you expect from the Kickstarter. There's already a lot of things that were promised to Master Key holders with the sim. Lots and lots of features were promised for the Master Key holders. Just as the game in general, there's lots of features that were promised. Some of those things aren't there. Like, even Gambler's Chest isn't there yet. So, I don't know about starting another Kickstarter. But there's some stuff. Webstore releases. So, yep. this is just going to be, where does it say it? During our, I will continue to plug our web store new releases. So this is just going to be a thing for a bit, where all the new releases will get plugged during Kickstarter updates. Kingdom Death Art, going to Kingdom Death Art, so I got to scroll down here past this art. Up for sale, there's a Spooter IR and a new beta, a Great Game Hunter beta, another male, so that's neat, but it is a beta. Then there was like new art prints, which was neat. There was a severe injury art thing. I've always said that'd be neat. The severe injury table is like an art print you can get, which is neat. It looks like it's the same one they use at like Gen Con. They pass around those things at Gen Con. They also had them on their playtest table and stuff. Those really make the game a lot easier. So that was one of the art prints. Then there was the mole, the xenomorph mole. H.R. Geiger inspired mole. Giger. So, neat. So Illuminated Lady. Can't show the artwork because of Illuminated Lady 2. Illuminated Lady is included in Screaming God, so you don't need to get it if you're worried about that. And there was a painter scale Thief alternate from Echoes 1 Thief, I think it is, yeah. So, Community Garden, let's talk about this. What would happen should a watcher enter a king? And can we get that as a vignette, please? It's a good question. In many ways, it would be like king contracting a virus or infection. Then they know what the next vignette's going to be. I'm assuming they're referencing what the next vignette after Nukelope will be. I think that's what that means, because we already know what the next vignette's going to be. It's going to be Nukelope. Could have just said that. Since it wasn't said, I'm assuming they already hit what it means is pretty good idea what it will be after Nukelope. So, two things you can glean from that. One, what I just said, they mean the one after Nukelope. Two, if he's answering this question in this way, it could mean Nukelope's already finished, because if in his mind, like subconsciously, he's thinking of it as done and he's already on to the next one, maybe that means we'll see Nukelope for Gen Con. I have a feeling we'll see Nukelope for Gen Con, so that's pretty cool. I would love to hear more about COD's Darkness mode in future updates. Super excited about this system as well. Become a favorite way for some of the team to engage with the game. So we didn't hear anything about Darkness mode. Okay. Please give some details on Death Armor. I'd love to know a little bit more about it. The Dead Armor has some similarities to the Green Knight Armor in that it is an ultimate weapon of sorts. I'll be doing a deep dive of the Green Knight Armor with a specific game dedicated to it in COD. The Den Armor is much more versatile in that it can be slotted into any campaign through the use of a pillar card. It's made of bones, 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 and more bones. If your goal is to build a full Dead Armor set over the course of one campaign, you should expect to commit every bone you'll ever harvest from Lanternier 1 to 30 to the project. I'm sure that's a little bit of a hyperbole, but in reality, it's probably like Giggling Scythe. That's what I'm assuming. That's what this reads to me as. It's going to be like Giggling Scythe, but with a lot of perfect bones, and probably just a lot of like regular bone, and probably adding it via since it said it was via a pillar, it might not be via the seed deck. I assume there'll be regular patterns, and maybe you get them from like some kind of settlement event or a timeline event. Since it is a pillar, maybe you get it via just hunt events, something. Maybe you'll get the pillars without them being in the seed deck. So that would be neat. Also, how are you going to look through the entries for the expansion painting contest? Not had a chance to look through the entries of the expansion painting contest myself just yet, but I know the Dark Judges are in the process of reviewing each and every entry now. Once I have the news on their deliberations, I'll share them here. Do you plan to begin printing any of the near complete expansions? Yes, the development for a full release is complete before the wave it was originally scheduled to be shipped with. We will push up its release so that players are able to get the most content as fast as possible. This is interesting because with the timelines, it's always been a priority to make shipping waves as full as possible so people aren't paying for one or two things. And then, wave one Screaming God kind of slipped. So now Screaming God looks like it's going to ship by itself. And then also with COD. But this comment makes it sound like maybe COD will get pushed out of its own wave. Maybe with Titan B or something. But I don't even remember what's all in the wave for... I think it was like I think it was Oblivion Mosquito and the Honeycomb Weaver and Titan Bee and Cod, I think is what it was. I could be wrong. Either way, just an example, the next one is Cod, the one that's after this. Wave 2 was Cod and whatever else was in there. But this is now opening the door to maybe Screaming God ships before Cod, and then Cod maybe ships before Wave 2. Like, so this is interesting now that the concept of giving up on fulfiller waves, this is all fine, and as long as Dark Treasury becomes a thing, I recently did discuss with Taste the thing of Dark Treasury. Taste said they're working on getting it open, and there's going to be an announcement with this one. So hopefully in June, I'm looking for the Dark Treasury to reopen to beta test, even if it just goes public. As I said, I was speaking with Taste about it, and then people tried to sign up for it. It wasn't working. There was like some issues, but I really do think next month I'll be talking about it, and there'll probably be a thing. And I do encourage everyone to sign up for Dark Treasury. I think Dark Treasury is a very good thing, especially given what this Q&A just said. Yes, if development for a release is complete before the wave it was originally scheduled to be shipped with, we will push its release up so that players are able to get the most content as fast as possible. So this really sounds like they're committing hard to Dark Treasury. Can't stress this enough. Next month, please give us more ways to sign up for Dark Treasury and so everyone can get into that. That'd be great. I really am expecting it next month. Could you please give us an overview on which percentage of the cost of expansions? I don't want to read this one. It looks like a joke now, but all the new No Nemesis 1 monsters flex by killing, maiming, or eating the white lion. Yes, so there is a Devour the Crocodile. It does exist. But everything does body white lions, and that is a little bit of a joke. Neat that maybe we'll eventually see. I would really like to see like the cat finds a box or something like that. Cat plays in a box would be a great thing for COD for White Lion with Ark Survivors. So please give us some kind of nod to a White Lion finding a box, a new prologue with White Lion finding a box, a new story, and about a cat wanting to play in a box. And that will be amazing. I hope we get that. It will really smooth out a lot of the meme of also monsters bodying a white lion, because then with Ark Survivors, when the box gets punted, won't always have to start with the story of the inked survivors finding the white lion and all that. They can, white lion can jump into a box and then from there get bodied by the node ones. I don't recall seeing any updates about the Super Survivors. We are currently not focusing our dev on Super Survivors, as it is not part of the next upcoming shipping wave. However, I have blocked out the content structure for the release, and it's currently studied to be a similar amount of content to our recent Millennium Butcher, which again was what it looks like is just a vignette with a dung beetle. So, the perfect dung beetle. When will we see the release of Nagama or Enigma? I forget what that one was. This was a secret sprue shown with the Screaming God. Will she be made an Indomitable Survivor or novel proficiency kind of dealing, seeing as she has two Zimbardo-like weapons on her sprue? Yep. One day. I assume she was shown with the Screaming God. Well, she was also shown with Gatherism. And so Gatherism is complete. So I'm assuming all that plastic's probably complete. They might even have it. Maybe her name gets changed. But I'm assuming, yes, we're going to see all that. So that's it for this update. This was a really good update. Couldn't have asked for anything better, really. Screaming God was mentioned. Production is finished. They're on boats as of like a week from now. They'll be on boats. And this time next week they'll be on a boat. So this was a great update. Super good. Super great update. I fully expect to be getting it while I'm at Gen Con. So just like with the Gambler's Chest, where we'll just be sitting here when I get back. So this is great. This was a really great update. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Got Screaming God news. Production complete on the Wave news. Perfect. 10 out of 10. Thank you, everyone. I will see you next video.